Hey, Jaconda, how you doing? Didn't see you the last time. I want to try something with screen sharing. Hey, Electra, and see if I can just give me a little pump up music going here. You can let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear it. Otherwise, I'll just enjoy it my damn self. It has become apparent to me that I am going to have to get the more expensive version of StreamYard. I can no longer put it off. Hello, Jaconda and Electra. Jaconda, I've noticed you weren't here last time, and I missed you. I won't be making fun of any children, so you don't have to jump my bones on this one. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? Thank you for coming. We'll wait to see if a few more people come in. If not, we'll just proceed. Um, I I was really looking forward to this live because I have some good news and I'm feeling like on top of the world right now. And I'm just in a good space. We're all aware of what is going on in Ukraine. And, it's sad to me that anybody, first of all, we're blessed that we have not lived in a country that has been at war on our soil. And while are remembering refugees, I want us to remember those in Yemen who are being treated horribly. Hey, Sharon, I want to remember those refugees that are attempting to get out, African refugees that are attempting to get out of Ukraine, refugees that are in Africa, refugees who risk their lives coming from Africa to get to other countries in order to get education or employment. I mean, it just seems quite sad. And so I really do sincerely send, hi, Doreen. I sincerely send prayers and just prayers for those people. I also applaud them for their courage. Hey, Clarence, long time. Uh, they are determined that they are going to remain free. And so, I mean, that courage is a courage of true patriots, not what we are currently calling patriots in this country. So I think I posted in the description that I had some updates and I do, and just to give you an update on what's happening with the music. But this last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I was with Hiroshima. They played St. James Live here in this city in Atlanta, and then went on to Charlotte, North Carolina. It was brilliant. It was absolutely wonderful. I was able to see my friends that I hadn't seen. I didn't realize that they had been touring for 40 years. So they're calling this their domo, which in Japanese you say domo arigato, which is thank you very much. They are not going to cease touring. They're just going to be very selective of what touring they will do. It was wonderful to see Chemo. Oh my God, it was pretty emotional. I think for both of us, it was emotional. And it was really a lot of fun. And I just enjoyed being in their company because it's always nice to hang out with people who have known you for a long time. Chemo has known me long enough to call me by my first name. So, and he will only do that when I refer to him as James, so which is American for Chemo. So there were lots of laughs and just a great music collab. And Chemo has said that he will actually play on the CD, and I'm just tickled because he was my first keyboard player, my first real keyboard player in a band. He knows my swing, my style. He's great at reworking a song. They actually had if you don't remember Hiroshima's tune, A Thousand Cranes, he and Jun Kuramoto, who plays the koto, rearranged the song so that it sounded like it was a masterpiece. It sounded like something that should be on the big screen in some kind of movie or something. It was really, really nice. So I'm just jazzed that Chemo is going to play on it, and that will bring together the band that I had in Hawaii. We'll have Michael Paulo on horns and David Inamine on bass. It'll be like a homecoming, uh, and I'm just thrilled. That's all I can say. I'm just thrilled. So I have to reach out to someone to have them to transcribe the chart music so that it's in chart form, and Chemo can read them and go over them and rework the songs. So yay! I'm just really very, very happy about that. And I hope you all have been well. For today, I want to give you a little Black History moment. I've decided, and it was some kind of a mutual decision, we're going to keep Black History Month going for the entire year, especially since I'm Black 24/7, 365 days. And some of this information is new to me as well, so it's exciting. So on this day, March the 2nd, Howard University was founded in Washington, D.C., and named for General Oliver Otis Howard, head of students of any race or creed. It was founded with a special obligation to provide advanced studies for Blacks. Its library is a leading research library for African American history, and many of Howard's graduates advanced to leadership positions in education, social reform, and government. We are excited about Howard University, and we also continue to lift up all the HBCUs that have had bomb threats phoned in. I know that the FBI has located some of the people who were calling those bomb threats in out of thinking it was fun. I mean, they were kids. I'm hoping that they will understand that just as you can yell fire in a movie theater, you cannot phone in bomb threats, and that they will receive a lesson that is so damn funny, because it isn't funny. It put the students and the faculty and all the people that work at Howard in a position where they were all fearing for their lives. They didn't know. They had to evacuate and whatever. It put parents who have children there and husbands and wives who have people who work there, put them in a state of fear. So they need to learn a lesson. They need to learn that that is not cool, not at all. I'm going to have to put these glasses on. I'm getting me some new eyes in May. So I'll be able to see long distance. Right now, I don't have any problems with reading, but I understand that after this surgery, I'll have to get some readers, which is okay. I don't mind. And for the first time without glasses, I'll be have a far sight. I'll be able to see in distances. So while I would like to be able to go to the doctor and have them not find anything and not have them find a cataract, it hasn't happened yet. So um, I'm happy about that. And I want to thank all of you for your thoughts and prayers, because I had managed to scratch my throat. I thought it was phlegm that wasn't coming up. And when I went to the ENT, he said that it was a scratch. I don't know how big, but when I brushed my teeth, I put the toothbrush that's way back in my throat and on my tongue and in the upper roof of my mouth. And I think it was during one of those times that I might have been a little too aggressive and ended up damaging my instrument. But by Thursday was a little dicey, but by Friday, with sufficient rest, which I was able to get, I sounded real good. It sounded as if I was back. So yeah. So I'm still floating. I'm still on cloud nine. I'm still excited. Also, I have a visitor coming in. I didn't expect him to come in until April, but he'll be here next week. And that is also something I've never spoken about him, but that is a person that I love deeply, and the feeling is returned. And he's when I met him here in Atlanta, he's an international journalist, so he's been out in the trenches. I'm praying that he doesn't get the itch to go to Ukraine to film anything. I mean, that would make me most unhappy. I don't no. That's a big no for me. So just many, many good things. And I really hope that there's some good things happening in y'all's lives as well, because we are told that this year is a magic year. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you. Thank you so much. When you get on these StreamYard screens, you start to notice like wrinkles, stuff. So you start to notice stuff, so thank you for the compliment. Oh, you say you gumbo jambalaya and beignet up. Thanks. Are you from Louisiana, Jaconda? Do you make beignets and gumbo and stuff? I love gumbo, a good gumbo. I've had some bad gumbo, and trust me, it was not good. And I do agree with you, Electra Storm. Those children who are calling in those jail threats need to get more than a slap on the hand. We're also aware that one of the first people to have a trial, I think he was part of the 3 percenters, they're going through what is called voir dire, which is jury selection right now, to get his trial started. And I would really like to see some of them have more than a couple of weeks or a couple of days or sentences that are like 3 months or something. I'd like to see some real backbone put into some of these sentences, because however they made it there, I don't know, they're all using the Trump gave us instruction to be here thing. We also know that he was going to any length to stay in office. His ass was so sure he was going to be there that he didn't even bother to leave. He was scrambling to get his shit out. And oh, by the way, I think I'll take a couple of boxes of top secret stuff too. I mean, he never ceases to prove just how low his monkey ass will go to just disrupt. He's a sore loser, and it's really too bad. It's really too bad that you are such a sore loser that you create an enemies list, and you're going to go after those who weren't loyal to you or who have talked badly about you. Hell, that would be over 3 million plus people who talk shit about you every day and can't stand your ass. Okay. So I wanted to also mention that I was watching Johnny on one of the, I don't know which one it was, on one of the streams, and the topic of race came up. And I know Johnny has a distaste for that. I remember when I wanted to do one on race, he was a bit hesitant to come on. He just doesn't like talking about it. I know that I talk about it quite a bit. But, you know, I got kind of convicted because during this month and in the months coming up, my pastor has been teaching us about how the Holy Bible, I don't believe it's the inerrant word of God. I will go with the inspired word of God, but how that the Bible was used to justify the brutality against slaves. And yet every slaver wanted to invoke God in their shit. You know, and Jesus himself asked a question in John, I forget the exact chapter and verse, but he asked, how can you say you love me whom you have not seen and hate your brother whom you have seen, that you are a liar and the truth is not in you? So it didn't make it, these people were talking out of both sides of their mouths. You can't call yourself believers. You can't call yourself doing the work of the Christ. You can't call yourself that and yet dehumanize any human being on earth, any human being, because we are all representatives, lights, if you will. We were created by God. All of us were. So for you to dehumanize me is to dehumanize the image of God. And we see that even now playing out with these people who are using God all up in their mess, as even with evangelists coming out and saying something. Pat Robinson, I thought his ass was dead. You know, he came out and had something to say about critical race theory. I really wish they would open their ears and understand that critical race theory is taught in colleges at a postgraduate level. And part of what is discussed is how the laws of this country have racism just baked in. It's not being taught in any grade school classes. It's not being taught in any high school classes. It's not even being taught at pre-graduate level college courses, and it's taught in law schools. Okay, so I really wish they would open their ears and hear, instead of coming out with these cock and bull descriptions of what critical race theory is and how we just can't have it in the schools. You know, how somehow Black people wanting to tell their stories, somehow when we tell our stories ourselves, that we have become the racist. And I just want to say that that's not possible, because racism is a white construct. You know, I don't know that anybody thought they were different. I know that I didn't think I was different until some white child pointed it out. So I really, the evangelists preaching that kind of bullshit from the pulpit are liars, and the truth is not in them. You know, you're preaching hate and division and bullshit, claiming to be directly connected to God, that you are men and women of God, you know. So I'm speaking about the things I've been catching up on. I was catching up on some of the speeches given at CPAC. It's a shame. It's a shame that here in America, we have people who are praising Putin and vilifying the president. Putin, Russia, has always been a formidable enemy of democracy and of this country. Has always been. And yet these people are fixated on Putin. They somehow think that he is, I guess because he can ride around with no top on a horse for a photo op, or sit next to some lions or tigers or something for a photo op, that he is viewed as this strong man, when in fact he is a very weak man, albeit a very dangerous man. as we can see with his unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. He is a white supremacist, Electra. He doesn't like black people. And what is equally troubling is that the Russians and the Chinese, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Germans, these people have invaded Africa and have claimed land for themselves. The British, they are at the French, they're all there to suck whatever they can out of the ground or dig whatever they can out of the ground. And they're doing it leaving the people that actually owned the land previously for generations, or using child labor to do these things, leaving them poor. They're doing nothing except taking. And so Russia is in Africa right now. And I did read that he doesn't, Putin, he thinks that Africans are idiots, pretty much. He has no love for anyone who isn't white. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Same shit here, And again, these people are somehow thinking God is on their side. I have to ask, what God are you serving? Because even though we were created, the good, the bad, the ugly, we were all created in the image. Some people, it's just difficult to look at them and see anything godly about them, aka the Orange Julius. I don't know what these folks. And the other thing that Pat Robertson said was that Putin is doing exactly what God told him to do, because he's being guided by God to call in Armageddon or the last days or whatever it is. These folks are so looking forward to the last days. And all I got to say is, some of y'all who think you'll be caught up in a rapture are going to be surprised. Your ass might not make it. So, I wouldn't be so happy to want to see the end of anything. So that was the other thing, that I just think one of these days somebody is going to go looking for him, and he's going to have spontaneously combusted, and there'll only be ashes in Pat Robertson's chair. They just go in and get a broom and a dustpan and just sweep his shit up and throw it in the trash. Amazing. Let me read some of your comments. Let's put yours up, Jaconda. Why worship the messenger when you can worship their God themselves? They no longer need Agent Orange. Oh, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. They are worshiping Putin. And those heckling hags, Boebert and Green, who recently attended a true shown up white supremacist convention, claiming when she was told about it, she didn't know nothing about the guy and she just accepted an invitation, which is bullshit. If you didn't know anything about him, you certainly heard him speak. He spoke about anybody brown like they was shit on his shoe. But anyway, they were heckling President Biden as he was giving his State of the Nation speech. I am so tired of those bitches, okay? I'm so tired of them. That's all I can say. They're not interested in doing anything except being disruptors. Boebert is about as bright as a dried up dog turd. She says the stupidest things and acts out, and none of these. And I don't know. It feels like the grand old party has some deep fissures itself. While they're pointing and talking about what's happening with the Dems, they need to look within their own ranks, because I don't think anybody who's a true conservative, even though they're nothing, I didn't have a lot of, I don't like anything or very little about Republicans anyway, war hawks that they are, you know. Um, these bitches always manage to cut up and act up. And it would just be nice if somebody could shut that shit down. Perhaps it'll happen. Marcus Flowers is running against Taylor Greene in this state for her seat, and I'm going to donate to his campaign. $3, $5, whatever I can, I'm going to donate because I would love. It seems that his numbers have gone up since she's been praising Putin. It looks like she might have fallen out of her own district, maybe fallen out of love with her dumb ass. And I don't know if you watched Johnny and it was Jen Lynn and Becca on Sunday night. They have a meme going around with Taylor Greene actually lifting up this weight, in an incorrect fashion. She would have blown her back out or hurt her knees or something. And as she moves from the top up to raise it up, it was funny to me. It's like she shat her pants. So whoever created that meme, yay! Johnny couldn't stop laughing about it. It was hilarious because the way she was doing it was all wrong. I guess she was trying to show that she's a strong woman, but again, you can't even do that right, bitch. Shit. So I'll read a few more comments. I was thinking I wouldn't I guess Clarence might have gone away. I hadn't seen him in a long time. He absolutely goes on. If you get a chance to watch the Midas Touch, Meidas, they are trolling Trump when he was having his little gathering in Mar-a-Lago. They had a plane flying over Mar-a-Lago saying Trump is praising Putin or something. They had that, and this plane was just going back and forth with this banner flying. They're the ones who actually had people driving around in trucks, talk with the pictures of Ivanka on it, and with disparaging, real life shit they were saying about that she'd done while she was in office. I mean, they are great. It's Ben, Jordy, and I can't think of the third brother's name. Ben, Jordy. Can't think of the other one's last name, a first name. But they're great. Also, Zev Shalev on narrative is great. He does great investigative reporting. And he sometimes has some kind of controversial guests on those that were in the Trump camp, trying to come on and convince somebody that what we know ain't true, but those are great shows. I hope that you are all doing something that will. They told to sit down and shut up, Electra? I didn't know that. Somebody should have snatched their asses down, just snatch their asses down, I think Boebert is in a Democratic district, and I believe that Joe Neguse is up for re-election, and he's so articulate and well-spoken and doing a good job for the good citizens of Colorado that I think that she may not be back. I pray she won't be back. I just think it's time to get people in there who are actually about something, whether we agree with them or not. Get some other people in there that didn't come because they become high profile and they can monetize their bullshit. It's like, and Marjorie Taylor Greene is the worst. She is the worst one. I would love to see her gone, like Gone, gone, bitch. That you just become a ratchet memory that we had. There are lots of cute people who are running in districts all over the country. We cannot have any more of these conspiracy theorists and liars, Trumpsters. We can't have any more of those people in Congress. It's just not healthy. Ketanji Brown is making her rounds, speaking to senators on the Hill, and we know she's going to become the first Black woman to be on the Supreme Court. So she's making her rounds, and I'm so very proud. I can't help but be proud when I see that images of people who look like me, who have studied and who have actually just done well. You know, they have done well in their careers, and that they have rise through the ranks through hard work and dedication and determination. So I'm really, really pleased that she's going to be on the Supreme Court. I don't know. I think Lindsey Graham got angry because his choice, the lady from, I think her last name is Thomas, was from South Carolina, wasn't the eventual pick. He seemed to be kind of uptight that Brown had gone to Ivy League schools. I don't know if it was Harvard or Yale, but it was one of those. He seemed to have a problem with that, yet for entertainment purposes only. You didn't have any problems, Lindsey, with voting an alleged rapist, Kavanaugh, on to the bench, or Gorsuch or Alito or any of the others that may have attended Ivy League schools. You didn't have a problem with that. So, grow up. Grow the fuck up. With your vacillating ass, you couldn't make up your mind if it was sitting on your face. Oh, but you like butt sitting on your face, don't you? You Lindsey likes ass, which is no secret to any of us. So, yes. What else is trending? Let's see. I don't watch a lot of pop stuff, so I couldn't tell you what's happening with Kanye and Kim, but apparently there's whole lot going on there. With her wanting the judge to speak. She wants that divorce quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't know if she can go to Nevada. I don't know if they still have quickie divorces, but if she can't get it done in LA, she might have to take a trip to Reno or some Vegas or somewhere and get that shit done. Because from what I understand, he has lost his mind, or he's having, let's just say he's having difficulty coping with having lost her as a wife. He had it all, but it seems like every Black man to get tied up, one of them heifers, they come away all fucked up. All fucked up. They're man eaters, baby. Oh, is she free, Electra? So her divorce is final. Hey, Kathy W. Hey, how you doing? Hey, Lisa. So the divorce is final? I know she's trying to move on with her life, and he hasn't been able to accept that at all. I mean, I've watched a couple of the clips that he's put online, and it has been, I think that he needs some prayer. He really does need some prayer, because I just think he's in a fragile mental state right now, and I just pray that he doesn't end up doing something that would hurt her or I don't think he'd hurt his children, but you just never know. You never know. Oh, hey, Sharon, it's all right if you had a phone call. I'm just happy to see you here. I know the last time when I came on kind of late, you had to get off, and I do understand that. I don't think I'm going to be coming on after the Sunday night reads, because I know a lot of you are moderators on those channels, and it can be somewhat exhausting when you go from there to over here. So I'm going forward do things about the 7 o'clock hour, 7:30, between 7 and 8. I'll do it that way. Let's see. Lisa says Kanye dates women that look like Kim. Yeah, he had one chick that was with him for a while. She did not look like Kim. Most people were kind of saying she was pretty lackluster, but for a minute they were together and they were in pictures together and all of that. I think that might have been a way for him to try to make her jealous, because he just doesn't seem to understand. She does not want to be with you. She's had it. She has to think about her children. I just imagine it was pretty difficult for her, even while they were together, if he wasn't taking care of himself in a manner in which he should. Um, let's see. Let me read some more comments. You know what, Rhonda? I'm going to put this comment up because, girl, I'm trying to figure it out too. But they must have something with teeth, or I don't know. They must have some alien pussy or something, because I've been trying to figure out what is it. Y'all just can't get it. You leave and now you're begging to come back. Lamar Odom talk on Big Brother. They were saying that on Big Brother he was begging one of those shows that he was wanting to. He indicated he wanted Chloe back, and and then we have Nick Cannon with a tribe of children who was singing about wanting Mariah back. I think not. I think that train has left the station. I don't think any of these chicks want y'all's asses back. Once you let something go, damn, there is no looking back. Life moves on. Life goes forward. So, what's been going on with any of you? We're in March 2022. March 2, 3/2/22. The year seems to be zipping by. It all felt like only yesterday we were saying Happy New Year. And if you make resolutions lying to yourself about what you're going to improve this year. But what I do hope is that if you've wanted to start businesses, if you had some dreams that you set aside, I do hope that you will pick them up again and move on them. I would hope that you're doing that you would write your vision and make it plain and chip away at it, do something about it, do something towards what makes you happy, because we spend so many years doing shit that brings us absolutely no joy. No joy. And that even goes to women who stay in relationships. I was having this talk with somebody about women who stay in relationships with husbands that aren't even sexually satisfying them, but they are good providers. Would any of y'all stay with somebody who was a good provider, but who wasn't, taking care of business in the bedroom? That to me is a recipe for cheating. Because you're gonna have to get it somewhere. And I mean, they stay for years. They stay for years. So would anybody here do it? Would anybody in the chat stay with someone, male or female, who wasn't satisfying you physically, but was a good provider? Okay. Let's see. Ain't nobody saying people got quiet as shit. Oh, let's see. Kathy W say nope, sure didn't. Does that mean that it was that's past history? That you got with somebody and he wasn't bringing you joy, and now he is his story. I don't blame you. I just don't think that anybody should be with someone that isn't going to bring them a tremendous amounts of joy. That's not saying that you're going to always get along. That's not saying that you're not going to have your dust ups and your fights or whatnot. But if those are few and you all can, work it out, you don't go to sleep with anger. I must be happy at this stage. At this stage of the game, I must be happy. And if I am not happy, I am not going to stay in that relationship. I am not. I'm just not going to do it. There's too much shit out here to make us unhappy. All you have to do is turn on the news. You might not even have to turn on the news. It might be going to work, working a job you hate, or going to work and having a coworker who gets on your nerves, always fucking with you, you know? We spend so much of our lives doing things that bring us absolutely no joy, but pretty much disrupts our peace. This is supposed to be a year where blessings will pour out, that prayers will be answered, that dreams will manifest. You know, so if you have them, don't go to sleep on them. Keep massaging them. I mean, I could have given up. I in one of the last videos I was telling you about how I was kind of stuck. It felt like the project was going nowhere because I was having some issues getting someone to commit. And then suddenly there was someone there for me. You know, because a lot of musicians, and I don't blame them, you know, if you have the money, they will show up. You know, that's what it's all about. And I understand it because they have families, they have bills, and I always want to pay people their value. I don't ever lowball players. I don't do that. So I wanted someone who would commit and who would work with me on this thing. And so in passing, I kind of thought about my old band, and then up pops Chemo, you know. Up he just happened. We talked about it and say, send the stuff to me. So yay. Of course we gotta crunch numbers and stuff like that. But he's my baby. I know he'll go easy on a girl. And I found a studio. I have a friend that has a studio and also found a studio, which I really like. I like the venue too. They have a $300 4-hour block. Now, I don't know if that, I don't think that includes the engineer. That would be an extra charge. And you do have to pay an engineer, and you need to have somebody who knows how to mix. Just he might be a good engineer for rock, but he might not be a good engineer for jazz or R&B or funk, so working that out. I've had to, I thought I would like to start it in May, and we still may be able to do that. I still may be able to get rolling in May so that I can actually, with getting on the grind, staying on it, and not rushing, but working through it, that we can have a fresh product by June, late June somehow. So that's a targeted time frame right now. This is something that's really dear to me. So I know it's got to be as near perfect as I can get it. So yeah, I'm really, really pumped up about it. It just feels good. So there are more venues opening up here, and I am going to check one out and take what I have. Oh, I was right, Kathy. You say, yeah, pass. Good for you. Congratulations. Yay. Let's give Kathy W a hand. She said, if I'm not happy, I ain't here. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yes, child. You just get to a point in life where you understand that your desires, your hopes and dreams and stuff are valid, and you got to have somebody in your life with you. I should pay more attention to the chat because I've bounced from one subject to the other, but I was speaking about the music. So yeah, I'm going to go out, and I think what I'll do is I will take a copy of what I've already done, even though it is to me dated. I may take it down and see about getting some local gigs here. It's always good to get out and sing as often as you can, because the more you use it, you use your instrument, the better it gets. You know, sometimes you can be a little, when you haven't been out in a long time, and quite frankly, we haven't been able to play for a couple of years. You know, those who had studios in their homes and who were very creative have been able to work, they were able to kind of work through it. But I do know, and speaking to some of my musician friends, that it was depressing, you know, not to be able to get out and play. So we were all looking for ways to keep our spirits up and to keep our minds busy. And I just find that the music just is, it just gets really inside of me and calms me down, so that even when I feel anxious, I can hear a song and I'm real cool with it. You know, I can kind of come from up here, so and you know, so yeah. I promised you all that when we get the final product that I would gift you all with a copy, and I'm still going to do that. Um, what did you? Let me see. Jaconda is saying, I'm going to show these because it's easier for me to read. Dated is the new great music coming around. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, when I heard Silk Sonic coming out with those songs, I really did. It just gave me so much joy, because I didn't realize how much I was hungering for the classic sounds, you know, the real R&B singers and the real jazz players and the real, even the classic rock guys. You know, I don't know how long Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stone can tour, but they may just do it until they just cannot anymore, because uh, they're getting out again. If they haven't already been out, they're getting out again. So yeah, the one thing I dig about music is that there is no date stamp on it. You can actually do it as long as you have breath in your lungs, as long as you can squeeze out a note, you can sing. Things do get a bit ageist sometimes. Check this out. I was talking last night with someone, and we were talking about relationships, dating, etc. And I said, nobody courts anyone anymore. And these were younger women. They didn't know what courting meant. Does it mean dating? I said, well, dating is a part of the courting process. But they apparently have different names that they're using when they meet somebody new, and they begin to get a relationship on. I thought, damn. And I mean, they wanted to discuss courting. They really didn't get it. It was at that moment I began to figure out when I came, I stopped being a senorita and became a senora, just you start, yeah, it's like, boy, am I old? It was interesting because they would genuinely wanted to know what courting meant. So I did my best to explain um, what it meant. Let's see. So Hall and Oates, Daryl Hall was hosting great shows in his basement or something. He was doing concerts from his basement, and they were still doing good music there. Yeah. There's a guy named Teddy Swim. He's a local Georgia boy. That boy can sing. He covers classics. He does a great job of Michael Jackson's "Rock with You," but he also sings. He sings beautiful songs. He's just a good singer, great chops, uh, and he has fun with it. Teddy Swims is a great singer, and I look at local people that I've met here, some of the class musicians, singers that are phenomenal that I really admire. we're all, I guess, we'll all be in a scramble once, once things get going, because we'll all be trying to go and get gigs at the. It'll be a handful of places and about 1,000 of us clamoring at the door to get in. Hey, Adrian, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. I'm happy to see you here. So, yeah, today I did spend time. I spent the day listening to music and actually singing. Now, I told you that I had scratched my throat and I had to go see the ENT, who gave me some relief. But the best thing for it was for me to be quiet, just be quiet. And I know for me that if I don't get enough sleep before a performance, it's raggedy anyway. So that was the best medicine for me. And Thursday, I was very careful in how I handled the songs, but on Friday it was smoking. On Friday it was smoking. It was great. There's something really lovely about a live band. I never liked tracks. I never liked karaoke because karaoke is so unforgiving. You have to first. I sing in sort of strange keys, so you have to first find a track that you'll be able to handle, and then it's just kind of straight down the line. Whereas with a live band, when it's a really tight band, if there is an error, there's somebody to kind of pick it up and keep it going. There's somebody there to scoop you up, and nobody knows you made a mistake but you and them. So that's why I love live music. That's absolutely why I love live music. And people are coming out now because they love it too. I looked at the demographic of the crowd for Hiroshima, and it was like, wow, look at us. We are. They were mature people. There were people who remember when things were on records. They remember when there were 45s and 78s. Then we moved to tapes and 8-tracks, and then we moved to what we have now with the CD, which is. It was kind of funny when Danny was talking about it on stage, because he was actually talking about it with respect to how long, 40 years, how long that they have been touring. And he tells the story brilliantly. He's funny as hell. Yeah, he's really funny. Born in East LA, so he probably knows some of my relatives, because I got relatives in all up in East LA. I at first thought he was Crenshaw District and he'd gone to Lock High. But yeah, he said, nah, girl, I was in East LA. So yeah, I'm thinking we probably ran across each other or know about the neighborhoods, because East LA wasn't always a dangerous place to be. East LA wasn't always what it has become. I had relatives, aunts and uncles and stuff that lived in that area of LA, and it was always place with carefully manicured lawns and nice people. And yeah, and I enjoyed visiting. I really did. That was what there was a lot of great music coming out of East LA. So yeah, the Velvet Note. I met the owner of the Velvet Note when she first came to Atlanta. I was one of the first people that she contacted. She wanted me to come out to the Velvet Note, and she wasn't satisfied with the CD. She wanted me to come out and perform. And at the time, it just wasn't convenient. So, we'll give it another shot. That room has the Carnegie Hall kind sound system. It's amazing. Her sound system is top line. So that is what I am doing. the wheels are turning, and while I might not be moving at breakneck speed, the fact is that I am now moving, that I've gotten over one hurdle, and I can look forward to, getting over the next one. Yeah. So I, you all, yeah, Rhonda, a live band that's the shit, I like live. I like the energy of live bands. I really do. Gotta have it. And it's like people want to hear live music again. So things are opening up, and I'm just on the grind to get some of that attention. Yes, I will, Electra. No worries. I'm going to go there and do it. Depending, also the other thing is depending on who's playing. If I know somebody in the band, then I don't have a problem getting up. It's like working with cats I don't know. Sitting in can be terrifying, and it's either going to go really well, or it can be a train wreck. So I'm pretty choosy about who I get up with. But if I know somebody in the band, and whomever is hosting or singing doesn't mind, that's the other thing. You have to get the permission of the diva that's already there. We have to make sure that she's okay with it. So it's a process. It's a process, and it's one that I'm familiar with, and one that I'm absolutely delighted to take on, because that is what I feel is my calling. I just know that's what I was placed on this planet to do, to share the joy of music, to share my joy of music, to tell my stories through song. Yeah, so yes, real good. So it's like almost 8 p.m. I didn't want to come on and keep you very long. Uh, I think I will come back. Let's see. Is today Wednesday? Yeah, today's Wednesday. Adrian, are you going to do the horoscopes? You and Johnny and are y'all going to be doing horoscopes? You, Johnny, and Tony? If you are, give me a thumbs up. They do the monthly horoscopes are loads of fun. All of you are familiar with Adrian from Red Lentil Healing, where you can get the most wonderful healing unctions and ointments and candles. And, she's a shaman, so everything is blessed and beautiful. So she should send out, I hope she sends out a notice if you're going to be doing that, because I enjoy seeing you, Johnny, and Tony together. I really do. Y'all provide belly laughs. So, hey, big godly energy. Thank you for coming on. I'm just about ready to shut it down. I'm not, because I know that we have something we're doing over on your channel. So I wanted to give y'all an update to let you know that we're moving forward in music, in my music, in the music land, that I'm really just stoked. I thank you all for your prayers and for your support. And I want you to know that I go through the chat and I write down the names, and I remember you in all of my prayers and meditation in the morning. I pray that all is well, and let us do our best, no matter how it looks or feels. Let us do our best to keep the love light on, baby, because love is the most powerful force. I mean, you can actually love the hell out of somebody. So let us do our best to stay in that positive love vibration. Let us do our best to stay there. That is where we not only bless others, but that is where we are also blessed. So, hey, Jayon. Hey, thanks for coming on. Y'all late now, because we're getting ready to leave, but I will put out a live notice. I may try to do one tomorrow. at about the same time, 7 p.m. And perhaps on tomorrow, I will have, I'll run a song by you. I'll run a song by you. You can tell me what you think since I'm feeling much, much better, much, much stronger. And I love you all. Thank you for coming on, and I will see you the next time. Bye bye.